Welcome back to the channel, my friends. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I can't help but think, what the Games Workshop? This video is sponsored by CMO Games. More on that later. So today I was doing a little bit of preparation for a video, and I can't help but think, what the Games Workshop? Like, what are they actually doing? They're a billion-dollar company with record profits, and it seems like they can't get anything right. And I wish I could understand what was going on behind the scenes, because it really feels like they don't even believe in themselves. So normally I would go through and look at Warhammer Community, and then I would pick like the coolest or most exciting article or two for the day and do a video on that. But the big event that's coming up this week is their Black Library celebration, and we already know that the two limited edition novels that everybody was excited about got delayed. So now we're just stuck with The Ghosts of Barak Minos and the Big Daka. And honestly, like, I'm sure they're cool and everything, but Morven Vol Mega Limited Edition was like super exciting and super cool, and I think a lot of people were really looking forward to that. But we know Games Workshop just had a massive debacle with the End in the Death Volume 3 Limited Edition, a complete implosion of their website, scalpers galore. They walked it all back, they did a second event, and then that was an even bigger failure. So there's nothing really to talk about there. Everybody knows that Games Workshop has been dropping the ball. So then another topic people have been bringing up like crazy lately is what the heck is going on with Legion Imperialis. So the game got delayed last year. It was like months late. There was supposedly a bunch of rumors about why. There was some racist texts or some inadvertent titles or topics that had some negative connotation. So they decided to like fix the rule book or something like that. Who knows if that's even true, but regardless, it was months late. So then finally the game was announced to actually come out on November 18th of 2023 to go up for pre-orders. The game came out. It was a smashing success. It sold out like crazy. People were like super excited about it, buying up everything. Half the stuff when you go to the web store is still out of stock right now. So you can't even get like any of this stuff, which is absolutely crazy, because if they really thought this game was going to succeed, you'd think they would have made a ton of it. So it started making me think, like, what is the deal with Games Workshop? Are they just putting out feelers and then they don't know what's going to actually succeed? So they're not really sure how much of something to make. Are they that afraid of failure that they won't even produce their own products when they continually sell out? So I ended up over here at the actual website taking a look at the Legion Imperialis stuff, because I'm like, okay, it makes sense. It's been like 3 months now, and a lot of this stuff is out of stock. They've announced that the Titan Death expansion is going to be coming out, and that's pretty exciting. We don't know when or anything like that. But since then, the only talk we've even gotten about the game is for the Imperial Arvis lighters, which I'm sure is cool and everything and great. We're going to get like tiny little transports in plastic, but what the heck? So I ended up over at the actual web store here, and full circle, realize just Warhammer.com actually sucks. I mean, they supposedly spent like tens of millions of dollars on this web store, and it's substantially worse than the old Games Workshop website is. And let me walk you through this and why it actually sucks. So if you just go over here to shop, and I was basically just trying to take a look at Legion Imperialis. So we click on Legion Imperialis, it takes us to this like actual page here. And then we can pick between like these various tabs. We can move back and forth, but they don't actually like do anything. It just basically changes a picture and then gives like a 1-paragraph description. So you're like, okay, let me look at the actual range and see what's here. So you scroll down here, we have like the actual starter set, and then we have the book, which is sold out. And then we have like a couple of little things, you know, and we'll notice that a lot of this stuff is sold out. So there's like 6 or 7 different things under this feature. So we go down here and then we see the Legion Astartes, Legion Imperialis. And again, we have a bunch of tabs, and we notice a bunch of this is sold out. And there's only like 5 things you can go back and forth between. Scroll down a little bit more. We have the Solar Auxilia. Same thing. A bunch of this stuff is sold out. Scroll down here, and then we get the actual Titans. And then again, a bunch of the stuff is sold out. So then I was thinking, okay, there's got to be like a better way to actually just look at everything. So I click on like the View All tab, and then it takes you over and it just shows you like all the terrain. So I was like, okay, well, up here it says clear all other games, Legion Imperialis terrain. So how do I get to the other games, Legion Imperialis tab, without the terrain prompt? Like, go back here, go back down here, try going to the actual like various tabs. Maybe if I click on this one, view all, nope, it doesn't. It just shows me like those 5 things. So there's no actual way to see like all the Legion Imperialis stuff. And I was like, man, there's got to be something to it. I must be missing something here. So I started looking through the different tabs over here. Couldn't figure out how to do it. Started going to like the sort by, thinking maybe there's like a filter thing that I'm missing right here. Can't figure it out. So then I was like, okay, simple enough. We'll just use the search tab, and I'll just type in Legion Imperialis. Okay, perfect. Everything's popping up here. That's got to be what we're supposed to do. So then as soon as I punch that in, I see 200 items come up here. So I was like, okay, this has got to be it. So immediately we see some Legion Imperialis stuff. And then if you just scroll down a little bit, you realize, wait a minute, some of this stuff is definitely not Legion Imperialis. This is like Forge World stuff. This is Horus Heresy things. So it's definitely not Legion Imperialis. So then I was like, okay, maybe I have to use the filter tab on top of that. So then we go over here and we see the various game system tabs, and then I can go, okay, Warhammer 40K, Age of Sigmar, Horus Heresy, Middle Earth, other games. So that's got to be it. I got to go to other games, and then I can leave clicked Legion Imperialis, Adeptus Titanicus, and Aeronautic Imperialis. So view results, and then finally we get to the 48 different items that are available for Legion Imperialis. And like, that is a lot of work. And I'm not saying it was like crazy or people can't figure out how to do that on their own, but why can't you just go in and actually pick the tab for Legion Imperialis and just see all the Legion Imperialis stuff? Why can't you, like any other website, when you're looking at a tab up here and then you have a sub tab that you don't want, just X that tab out and go back to the regular tab? It just makes no sense for a website that they spent tens of millions of dollars on, that you can't find an easier way to like just look at the stuff that you want to look at. I mean, the whole purpose of this website was to basically consolidate everything under the Warhammer name and make things like simple, make things more accessible, so you don't have Forge World and gamesworkshop.com. So you could just buy everything in a single click, in a single purchase, and just check out and not have any reason to suddenly have like buyer's remorse or be going back and forth between websites, placing multiple orders, and then end up not doing it or just being overly complex, etc. I mean, that's what it's all about. Simplicity. You just want people to go to your website, see the stuff they want, and buy it. And honestly, this is insane. Like, what are they spending all of their money on? I mean, all of the stuff for Legion Imperialis is sold out. Now, not literally everything. There is definitely a couple items for sale. The main game is back in stock. You can buy some flying bases, a couple of little like base packs, and like a handful of other miniatures. But of the 48 items that are available for this game, 18 of them are in stock. So that means 30 of them are sold out. Since this game came out, which was supposed to be like over 6 months ago, and then it got delayed, so it's been out for about 3 months now, there's been no other releases for it. They've announced an expansion book, and then obviously the Arvis lighters that we talked about, but there's a lot of other like tank packs and stuff like that that people really want that aren't available. So if the game got delayed, why aren't the actual tanks available? Why isn't all the other stuff that was supposed to be coming out like on the normal schedule, had the game not been delayed, all coming out instead? And it just makes me think that Games Workshop is like kind of putting out feelers with some of these other games, but just won't commit to them. So they're making like a minimal amount, they're putting in a minimal amount of effort, and then they're just going to see like how they do after a couple months. And if they do well, then they'll like give us some more. And it just makes me think like they don't believe in their own products. Now a quick message from today's sponsor. CMO Games has been selling Games Workshop products online for over 20 years. They carry the full line of Games Workshop products, including Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Necromunda, Blood Bowl, paint tools, and more. Almost all Games Workshop products are priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games takes pre-orders for most Games Workshop products released at their earliest date possible. 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, they go live. Most of these pre-order products are also priced at 15% off MSRP. CMO Games offer free shipping in the US 48 with an order of $50 or more. Their customer service is top-notch, and they ship most orders within 24 hours. Visit CMOGames.com using the affiliate link in the description and let them know that you heard about CMO Games from Warhammer Man. Now, back to the video. And now with all the old world stuff coming out, I can't help but think they're kind of doing like the same thing. So we go over here to like the old world, and again, you click on the actual old world tab, and nothing is even here. Like, there's nothing to buy. We're in the actual store, and there's nothing to buy in the old world tab. So what do I have to do? I have to go back over here, back to the old world, and then instead of using the shop the old world tab, which would be the obvious thing you would click on if you want to buy stuff, you have to just come down here and pick one of these other things instead. So now I have to choose between Bretonnia or Khemri. Maybe I don't know what I want to buy. Maybe I just want to check out what they have for sale. So you would think that would be under the Shop the Old World tab. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll go to the Old World, Armies of the Old World, and then I'll just X out Kingdom of Bretonnia. But that doesn't even work. We're still under Kingdom of Bretonnia, even though I X'd out the Kingdom of Bretonnia tab. So it just makes literally no sense. And then when you look at what actually came out for the Old World so far, we basically have like the core launch set for Bretonnia, the core launch set for the Tomb Kings of Khemri, and then like a couple of items. And most of this stuff is the stuff from like 30 years ago. Now they put out a couple new models and they put out like some new dice and some new cards and everything. But again, the majority of this stuff is sold out as well. So they have a couple of digital items, and then they have 4 items available: the box set, the Pegasus Knights, the new Pegasus character, and then the dice. Everything else is sold out. So Games Workshop is making record profits. They have record sales. They're bigger and more popular than they've ever been. They just spent tens of millions of dollars on a new website, and it just seems like everything is getting worse. It feels like they don't believe in their games when they put them out. It feels like there's no support for them when they come out. And it feels like their new website that they spent all this money on is a massive downgrade that doesn't even work. And it's not even just like the Bretonnia stuff is like super popular. If we go over to the Tomb Kings of Khemri, there's 2 digital items, and then there's 4 items that are still in stock out of the 19. So same thing, like it just feels like they put this stuff out here as feelers. There's no support product wise. There's no support for the actual game or anything until they make sure that people are actually going to buy it and people want it and they're going to be able to make a bunch of money off of it. Which totally makes sense. I get it. They're a business. They don't know how popular something's going to be. They don't know what people are going to buy. But literally every week we see pre-orders come out and like everything sells out. So at this point in time, how much more assurance do they need that people want to buy Warhammer? And why, after months that have gone by with this new warhammer.com website, have we seen no improvements? They haven't fixed any of the issues with it. It hasn't gotten any better. I mean, there's basic stuff that you would see before you launch a website where you go, okay, let's pretend like we're going to buy something. Let's go over to the old world. Let's click shop the old world and then let's buy stuff. Oh, wait, I can't even buy anything from the shop the old world tab. It really just doesn't make any sense. And the same thing, like it feels like a scavenger hunt. What I should do is as soon as I click shop the old world tab, it should just pop up all the old world stuff that I can choose from to buy. Or there should be something right here where I pick my faction and then I buy it. And it just seems like for this billion-dollar company that's more popular than it's ever been, making record sales and record profits, and then you go for like the most common sense things and they drop the ball. So I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just ranting today because Games Workshop seems like they are plagued with delays and scalpers and no support for their new games and no new products and constant delays. And it's just aggravating, especially when the actual catalog of their products, they can't even keep in stock. So if this is what everything looks like now, what is it going to look like 6 months from now? Because it seems like everything is just getting worse. So I don't know. Let me know down below. I guess this is kind of a rant more than anything. And obviously, I know people agree with me on the Warhammer.com website is trash. And it was a complete waste of money and a definite downgrade. But like, what is going on with Legion Imperialis? What is going on with the old world? Why aren't they supporting these brand new games? Why can't they keep stuff in stock? And then at the same time, it seems like they're afraid to overcommit to something. So I guess we're just going to wrap up there with F Warhammer and F Games Workshop. Because if they don't even believe in themselves, when they have record sales and record profits, what is going to happen if they go into a little bit of a lull? If things slow down a little bit and the games aren't quite as popular? Are they just going to drop them altogether? They're going to stop supporting them completely? Are they going to degrade the service on their already terrible website? I don't know. Let me know down below, guys. Absolutely been frustrating lately dealing with Games Workshop, and I really get why people are turning tail and running. I get why people are quitting. All they do is raise prices. They got record sales, record profits, and it just seems like everything is getting worse. So let me know down below, or if you want to drop a little rant of your own, feel free to. Always like to hear back from you guys in the comments. Special thanks to CMO Games for sponsoring the video. Check out the link in the description to save 15% on Games Workshop products. That's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios, I'm Warhammer Man, and Games Workshop needs to sort themselves out, and I'm out of here.